So if you take out the GCF, x to the fourth minus 9x squared, you're going to take out the x squared, which is going to leave you with x squared minus 9 over, and then we're going to factor here. Okay, so multiplies to 3, adds to negative 4 will be a negative 3 and a negative 1. And then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So when you multiply by the reciprocal, this x squared minus 16 is going to factor into x plus 4, x minus 4. How'd you guys do with that one? Remember the pattern? Okay, and then because we're doing the flip, I'm putting those factors on top. And then here, you can take out a GCF of x squared. So this becomes x squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay, and I know that it's kind of a pain writing everything out again. So if you want, when you notice you have a special pattern like the x squared minus 9, you can just do the x minus 3 and the x plus 3 above it. That's fine. And then here we have a trinomial, so you can factor there. Multiplies to negative 8 and adds to 2 would be a positive 4 and a negative 2. Okay, and then you can even do your cancellations from here. That's fine. When I'm doing my cancellation, sometimes I will like line everything up and then cancel, like x squared, x plus 3, x minus 3, x plus 4, x minus 4, over, and then notice you have an x squared there. I put that first, just because it's easier for me to cancel it out. Okay, and then whether you cancel it out from here or here, I try to start at the beginning on the numerator and then just go through the numerator. That way I don't miss anything. So x squared cancels out with x squared. Okay, they're both multiplied, nothing added. X plus 3 doesn't cancel out with anything. X minus 3 cancels out. X plus 4 cancels with x plus 4. X minus 4 does not cancel with anything. So then what I have left in the numerator is x plus 3 times x minus 4 over, and then on the bottom I have x minus 1 times x minus 2. Remember, we're keeping these in factored form, so this is your final answer. And the directions for this problem were just to simplify so you don't have to identify the values for x that are not possible. Okay? Alright, so based on that, I'm going to give you guys time to do this. The 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 over x squared minus 9 divided by 4x squared minus 1 over 8x squared minus 28x plus 12. Okay, keep in mind your steps of factoring. The first thing you're going to do, got that. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to look for the GCF, then your special patterns, and then we're going to guess and check. Okay, so I'm going to give you some moments now to do that. Alright, let's see how we did. Alright, so for the top, there's nothing that you can take out of everything, so we're going to start with 2x and x. Okay, and then it has to multiply to negative 4 but add to negative 7. So if you put a minus 4 here, this makes negative 8. The plus 1 will get you the negative 7. The x squared minus 9 is our special pattern, difference of two squares. And then did you guys recognize that this is your difference of two squares too? So you have 2x plus 1 and 2x minus 1. Now this one, what can you take out of all of those? 4. So if you take out the 4, be it 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. So that is going to make it easier to factor. If you factored it and you did not take out the GCF, you're just going to have to take it out at the end. So if you factored it and did not take out the GCF, look at your two factors. I bet you're going to see a GCF in one or both of them that you're going to have to extract before you write your final answer. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out. Again, I like to start here. That way I don't miss anything. The 2x plus 1s are going to cancel. X minus 4 is going to stay. There's no number here. And then I'm going to factor this guy. So 2x and x has to add to -7, has to multiply to 3. So if you have a positive, we know both of these are negative. If I put the 3 here, it becomes -6. Minus 1 is -7. Okay, so the 2x minus 1 is going to cancel. X minus 3 is going to cancel. And my final answer will be x minus 4 times 4. That's going to go right in the front. Remember with the GCF, you never want a GCF in your final answer. Okay, because this is factored form. So whenever you have it in factored form, make sure there's no greatest common factors. Okay, make sure that you have those taken out. All right, and then the last one will look a little different at first. So in parentheses, we have 2x squared plus 2x minus 12 over x squared plus 4x minus 5. And all of that is raised to the power of -1. And then it is multiplied by 2x cubed minus 8x over x squared minus 2x minus 35. And it is multiplied, so not division this time. Okay, we're going to talk about this in a moment, the -1 and what that's going to do. I want you to go ahead and factor the second fraction. So factor what you can of the second one. All right, so with the -1, what do you guys think that's going to do? Because normally when we have a negative, what do we do with it? Turn it. Yeah, we turn it into a fraction. If it's already a fraction, yep, it just flips the numerator and the denominator. Right, so if you were to put this over 1, it would be the same thing as flipping the numerator and the denominator. So anytime you see the -1, we know that means we're going to flip the fraction. Okay, and so if we are factoring here, multiplies to -5 but adds to 4, I need a +5 and a -1. What can I do with everything in this numerator? What's the same in all of those? Yeah, you can take out the 2. So we definitely want to do that. So if I take out the 2, I have x squared plus x minus 6. Okay, and it looks like you guys did a nice job of finding the GCF. What's your GCF for 2x cubed minus 8x? X and? Great. Okay, so they both have an x and then they both have a 2. So if we take that out, then we get x squared minus 4. Do we recognize that as something? Yep, difference of 2 squares. Good. Okay, and then x squared minus 2x minus 35. What are our favorite numbers to multiply to 35? 7 and 5. I mean, that's everyone's favorite to multiply to 35, right? Maybe do like 35 and 1 better? No? Yes? Maybe? You don't think about it? But now you will think about it. I think I do have favorite factors. Don't you guys have favorite factors? What are favorite numbers multiply to 8? 2 and 4. I guess I should do favorite ones. What about 12? 3 and 4? And 2 and 6? I do feel like 3 and 4 are the favorites. Alright, and then again, sometimes what I do is I line everything up to make sure that I don't forget anything. You don't have to do that. You can also just start here and start canceling. So you have the x plus 5s that cancel. Okay, and then x minus 1, there's nothing on the bottom. See how you have a 2 and a 2 here? There's nothing added to it. So the 2's are going to cancel. Okay, you have a singular x on the outside, but there's no other singular x, so that's got to stay. And don't forget about it. The x plus 2, are there any x plus 2's on the bottom? Nope. X minus 2 and x minus 2. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to organize my final answer. So my final answer, I have this x minus 1. The x here, like I said, sometimes that guy gets lost. We always want to put that in front. And then it's multiplied by x plus 2. Okay, once you factor this down, this does not exist anymore. Same thing with the denominator. So I have x plus 3, x minus 7. Okay, and the reason why I like starting in the numerator is that way I don't miss anything. I'm going all over the place. Alright, so you did a nice job on that. The only thing we have left to do is simplify what are called complex fractions. Okay, and I forgot to take off part D. We're not going to do a part D. If you want to cross that off, you can. Okay, so the directions still say simplify. For this one, we are going to have 3a over a minus b over 6ab 4a squared minus 4b squared. Okay, this is what it will look like. Yeah, it's just a fraction in a fraction. Exactly, it's the same exact thing we've been doing, it's just written differently, right? Okay, so when you see the fractions within a fraction, we know that it's the same thing as keep, change, flip. Okay, so great. So we're going to keep the numerator. We're going to change division to multiplication over times. Okay, and then we're going to flip this. Okay, so we're going to take the 3a over a minus b. There's nothing I have to factor there. We're going to multiply by 6ab, and then we can, oh, sorry, what did I forget to do? Yeah, flip it. Okay, and then, so the numerator becomes the denominator, and then here, if you have the 4a squared minus 4b squared, okay, what can you take out of both of those? You can take out the 4, and then it's a squared minus b squared. And then we're going to factor that one more time. Okay, so this is 3a over a minus b times, okay, and then a squared minus b squared is the difference of two squares. Okay, a squared is a perfect square, b squared is a perfect square. So when you factor it down, it's a plus b times a minus b. And then I have 6ab here. Okay, and now we're ready to cancel. So you have 3 over 6. So 3 goes into itself once, goes into 6 twice. So that really is a ratio. 3 over 6 is 1 over 2. Okay? A can cancel out, but it has to cancel out with this A. The reason why it can't cancel out with this one is because this is A minus B as a factor in parentheses. If you have the A minus B here, those parentheses are understood. And then you can also cancel out here if you'd like, 4 divided by 2. Sometimes I just wait and do that at the end. You can decide whichever you want to do. I don't want to do too much and have you get confused. Okay, so now I have 2b at the bottom. And then from there, I'm just going to simplify. 4 over 2 reduces to 2 over 1. Okay, so this is your final answer. Okay, and again, you could cancel those out here. So I decided to cancel the 3 and the 6. You may have noticed that 4 and 6, those are going to reduce. That's fine. Okay, but either way, you end up with 2. You could also just multiply straight across. This is 12 over 6. 12 over 6 divided by 12 over 6 is going to divide to make 2, and that's going to go on the top. Okay? Alright, so based on that, I'm going to have you do B, which is x squared minus 9y squared over xy divided by 2x plus 6y over x squared. And I'm going to give some you guys part C as well. both of those and then check them together. All right, so again, just make sure that you have the GCF. All right, let's check in on part B. So we have x squared minus 9y squared. If you're having trouble factoring this, what I think is helpful to remember is if you have something like x squared minus 9, most of you know that's going to be x plus 3, x minus 3. The only difference now is it's going to be x plus 3y and x minus 3y. Okay, over xy, and then we're going to flip. So we have x squared, and then 2x and 6y. What can I take out of both of those? 2. So then this becomes x plus 3y, which works out nicely so that we can do some cancellations. So the x plus 3y and the x plus 3y are going to cancel. Nothing to cancel with this. And then you have x squared. So one of the x's is going to cancel out with one of those. And so you'll have x times x minus 3y in the numerator over y times 2 would be 2y in the denominator. And I guess I would center that a little bit better. And there you go. All right, and then for C, we're going to factor, so that 8x minus 10x minus 3 is what we're going to factor. And then in the denominator, what can you take out of all of those? 5. So if you didn't do that, make sure that you do because it's going to make it a lot easier to factor. And then we're going to times, and then again, this is what's going in the numerator. 4, 18, and 8. What's the largest number I can take out of all of those? 2. So it becomes 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. So that becomes more manageable to factor. And here I have 2x and x. Okay, I would say this one to factor last. I would factor all of these first, because sometimes that can help you with whether you want 4 and 2 or 8 and 1. To 1, 4 minus 3 is how you get your 1. Okay, and then in the numerator we have 2x and x. Again, I'm trying to add to 9, so I'm going to put the 4 here so I can multiply to get 8 plus 1. And then because most of these started with 2x, I decided for the 8 I was going to start my guessing and checking with 4x and 2x. And I got 4x plus 1 and 2x minus 3. That would give me negative 12 plus 2 to get to negative 10. And then I can start my cancellations. Again, sometimes when you have a lot of this going on, what I do is I line everything up and then I cancel. Anytime I have just a number or a variable, a monomial, I put that in front. That way I don't forget about it. And this is over 5, 2x minus 1, x plus 4, 2x minus 3, x plus 2. And again, I do this to help me organize what I've done so that when I cancel, I don't miss anything. So 2 and 5, those don't reduce. 4x plus 1, nope. 2x minus 3, yes, I can cancel. 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1, nope. X plus 4, yes. So my final answer is 2 times 4x plus 1 times 2x plus 1 divided by 5, 2x minus 1 times x plus 2. Alright. So I'm going to give you the rest of the time to work on your assignment.